let's look again at solving inequalities algebraically. If I go back to my original question which I had, which was that the absolute value of x take 2 is less than or equal to 5, I've already shown you one way of solving that algebraically. You can also solve it using a number line, and you can also solve it graphically. But I want to have a look at the idea then that both of my situations here could be a negative answer. So this means that because of the absolute value, x take 2 could be less than or equal to 5, and therefore that x is less than or equal to 5. Instead of take 2 plus 2 becomes 7. Or I could also look at it that it was the negative of x take 2 is less than or equal to 5. So I've looked at both of these situations, one being the positive, one being the negative. Now multiplying that out, I get minus x plus 2 is less than or equal to 5. Minus x is less than or equal to 5. Plus 2 over this side becomes take 2, so 5 take 2 is 3. Now this brings up a very important situation here. When I have this as negative x is less than or equal to 3, I have a negative in front of my x. So if I divide by minus 1 in both situations here, that becomes a positive. 3 divided by negative 1 becomes negative 3. And my sign now, instead of being a less than or equal to, gets reversed around the other way. So it becomes a greater than or equal to negative 3. And that's because I've divided by a negative number. Now, if I was to look at a question then, where I have two absolute values. So 2x take 4 the absolute value of is greater than or equal to the absolute value of x take 5. Then this brings up an interesting situation. How do you go about solving this? How do you look out which one is negative and which one is positive? From the syllabus document that you have, in situations like this, you only need to solve graphically or in your calculator. So to solve graphically, that involves graphing both inequalities. So the first inequality I have comes down here, and that is the inequality of y is equal to the absolute value of 2x take 4, and that sits here at 2 and crosses here at 4. And the second one crosses there at 5 like that, crosses up here at 5, so we'll draw that through. There we go. That's the second one, which is y is equal to the absolute value of x take 5. And now we need to look at where this graph is greater than or equal to the other one. So we have some key points. We have this key point here. We have this key point here. This key point here is minus 1. This key point here is 3. And so if we look at this, we say for everything less than or equal to negative 1, this graph here is going to be above, so greater than or equal to the other one. And likewise, from everything this side, this graph is going to be greater than or equal to that one. So we also have that x greater than or equal to 3. So those are your two solutions for that situation.